What is up, guys? Welcome to the Work Toward Wonder podcast. So much has happened in my life since the last time we posted, which was 2 weeks ago. And so I'm just going to dive right into it. All the good, all the sad, all the change. And I just want to share that with you and just share what I've been going through, because I think there's beauty in sharing your testimony while you're still living in it. So many times we wait till we have all the answers and all figured out before we share. And the Lord has really just asked me to be transparent with what I'm going through, because it's so easy as someone who lives their life on social media and publicly to hide what they're struggling with until they've gone through it and then they decide to share it. I want to share what I've been struggling with currently and how I'm working through that with the Lord. So let's get into it. Like I said, so much has happened since last episode. And boy, am I so grateful for the Lord. Last episode, we talked about my graduation. All good things, all amazing things. The Lord is so good. And then literally like 3 days later, my life changed completely. If you didn't think graduation changes your life, I had no idea that playing my last ever game, competitively, sports game ever, would have such a large effect on who I am, basically. So just to run you back, I'm a 3-sport athlete, or I was a 3-sport athlete: volleyball, basketball, softball. Loved weightlifting, competing, athletic, doing all the things every day. There was never a moment I wasn't moving. And so we have our chance to make to the Final Four. This is my third chance to make to the Final Four, my third and last chance. And we lost. I went in confident. I went in excited. I had an amazing game, and we just couldn't pull it out. And I remember before we went into the game, my mom told me, you're going to be sad once you lose, but after that, it's going to be okay. And I went in knowing that it was going to be okay. So looking back, I wish that I would have trusted myself a little bit more and remembered my mom telling me that, because it's important. And so we go through a game and we lose, and it was devastating. I was the last out. I popped out to end the game, and it was awful. It was the worst feeling I've had in a long time. And I just remember after I popped out and I was running through first base, and I literally just crumbled to the ground. And I was like, my coach was like, we got to go shake hands. We got to go shake hands. And I was like tears were rolling down my face. And I was like, I can't. And I ended up getting up and going to shake hands. And then we went out to the outfield to do our post-game huddle. And I literally was sat on the ground, because the idea that I would never play a competitive sport again, and not even just softball, competitive sport ever again, rocked my world. And I didn't think that it was going to be that bad. I was so I was so focused on what I'm going to do after we lose that I didn't even think that this game would be my last game ever. It just never comprehended in my mind that this would be my last game ever. And so we finish the game. We finish our post-game huddle. We give the hugs. We say the memories. And I go to leave, and I was struggling to pack up my stuff. My family, my poor parents had to wait on me forever. But my family was the last to leave the field. Out of the entire stadium of people, my family was the last one to leave. And I just couldn't believe that my career was over. My sports were I never, ever would do this again. And so I'm walking out of the park, and I'm carrying my bag, and I put it in my mom's car, and I'm like, this is the last time that I'm going to put a softball bag in my mom's car. This is the last time we're going to play Jenga to fit everything. And I was devastated. And I thought when I woke up the next day that life would go back to normal. But my normal was never going to be the same, because I lived my life since I could walk, competing, playing sports, working out, doing school things. Once I lost that game, my life took a complete change. And I say all this to say, have you ever found yourself in that spot where your life drastically changes? Whether it's a job, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, whether it's moving across the state or moving across the country, if it's losing something that was so important to you, or an end of a chapter, a change coming. We've all been in this place where we question, who am I? And when there's big changes in life, I find myself in this spot. Who am I? And to be honest, if you were to ask me who I was 2 weeks ago, I would tell you, my name is Gracyn McNiell. I love Jesus. I'm a 3-sport athlete. I'm in high school. I'm 18 years old. Like, I would give you that part of who I was being an athlete, being a student, a high school student. And if someone were to come up to me now and ask me, who am I? All I could say right now is that my name is Gracyn. I host a podcast. Well, first off, I'd say my name is Gracyn. I love Jesus. I host a podcast. That's it. There is no, I'm a 3-sport athlete. I'm a this, I'm a that. All of that is gone. And the realization of that still weighs on me today. And I want to read you this post that I made a week after we lost. And I said, 1 week ago, my life changed forever. 1 week ago, I played my last game, caught my last inning, and I took my last at-bat. Previously, I had played my last quarter and took my last shot. And before that, I played my final set and passed my last ball. They say sports prepare you for life, but nothing can teach you how to say goodbye. From the moment I could walk, I was playing sports, soccer, gymnastics, pickleball, basketball, softball, volleyball. I've done it all. I didn't just play sports. I played sports, and I played hard. Blood, sweat, tears, bruises, aches, pains, and all. Competitiveness runs deep in my veins, and I never back down from a challenge. But man, has my life changed in a week. No more early practices, no late night gym workouts, no more lifting or team bonding, no more locker room talks or jamming to music on the bus, no more bruises, sore muscles, or random aches. No more line drills, merry-go-rounds, or zigzags. No more cheering your teammates on, no more games, no more winning, and no more competing. Oh, how I wish for just one more minute. I would give anything for another black eye if it meant that I could play again. Man, has life changed. But boy, am I grateful for all that has happened. I told my mom this. How do people do this without Jesus? I've only ever known myself as an athlete. And I've asked myself so many times, what do I do now? Who am I without a ball in my hand or a number on my back? No one warned me that saying goodbye would be this hard. No one warned me that I was losing a piece of who I was. No one warned me how much I would miss it. Now all I have left is memories that I will cherish forever, and maybe some sore muscles that remind me of who I once was. Oh, what I would give to run another hill, practice at 5 a.m., or play in the freezing cold. While I may never compete for another conference title or district championship, I have realized that there is so much more to fight for. And I can't wait to discover the life God has planned out for me. While saying goodbye is hard, the future is so exciting. For the last time ever, goodbye. Writing that post was so difficult for me. The fact that I was saying goodbye forever. I would never play with my teammates again. I would never be coached again. Like, this was life-changing. And to you right now, it might seem cliche or that I'm exaggerating, but for me, it was crazy. And I encourage you to think about, what is something that you often find your identity in? We all fail at this, that we find our identity in things of this world instead of our identity in Jesus Christ. And I will say that I played for the glory of God. I prayed before every game. I honored him in everything I did. I worked hard. I played with integrity. But when my life changed, I look back and I'm like, I put sports on a pedestal. And there are times that I have put sports above God. And who I was often found in that sport. And I'm grateful to now say that I am learning these things and learning myself, and to know that my identity is not found in a sport. And that is something I learned throughout sports, is finding my identity is found in God. And I thought that I had it all figured out. But saying goodbye to something that you've worked your life for, it's not easy. And I know you guys have always been in this spot, somewhere that you have worked so hard for, something that means so much to you, something that you love, that you have lost. And I feel like so many people find themselves in the place of, who am I now that I don't have that? And I want to say that it's not bad for you to feel that way. The Lord blessed me with gifts and talents to be able to play sports and to be active and to glorify Him with my body. But there is a time and a season to everything. And learning that at this age in life was hard. Learning that seasons change, good things come to an end, and learning to move on the other side of that. And I will tell you, I didn't know that it was going to be this hard. Like, when I say hard, I mean, I went to turn in my softball jersey and I literally was like bawling my eyes out. I was sitting in my car and I was crying for like hours. Like, there would be times I'd just be driving down the road when I got a text that my softball team was practicing, but realizing I wasn't going to be there. I was in the middle of a run and I literally just started crying. Like, I didn't know that it was going to be this hard. To go and watch other people play sports and me not being on the court, that is hard. And I know everyone finds them in a place where they're seeing other people have what they once had or what they want. Whether you're a mom waiting for a kid, whether you're single waiting to find the one, whether you're an athlete who no longer plays, whether you're a high school student who's graduated, whether you've lost someone you love, and you see everyone else having what you wanted, what used to be yours, and learning to be happy for them, and learning not to grow bitter in your heart. And that was what I'm going through, what I have been going through, what I'm learning on the other side of it. But I want to share with you what the Lord has taught me. The standards you set will become the life you live. If you try and find your identity in things, the things of life, the things in life, you will be disappointed. What is your standard? Is your standard to accomplish this, that, and the other? And when you fail to do that, will you lose your purpose in life? And I want to tell you, it's okay for you to go through a season when you don't even want to wake up and get out of bed. I laugh about it now, but in the moment, it was not funny. Literally last Saturday, I was laying in bed. It was like 8:30, and my mom opens my door, and she's like, "Gracyn, I need to get up. Like, it's time to get going." And I was like, I don't feel good. And did I feel bad? My body was fine. I was a little like tired and sore from working out, but my body was fine. And she said these exact words, and she wasn't nice about it. And I thank her for not being nice about it. But she said, "I know your body hurts. I know your heart hurts. I know that your mind hurts, but we are not going to do this. We are not going to ruin everything good has done, that God has done. We're not doing this." She literally said, "We're not doing this," and turned my light on and walked out. And I was like, in the moment, I was angry because it's like, what do you mean we're not doing this? This is my first Saturday without something with sport to do. This is my first, like, I am sad. All I've done since I've ended my careers is worked, and I'm bitter and I'm angry and I'm sad. And she literally told me these exact words, we're not doing this. It's okay to go through a season when you don't feel like waking up, but you have to anyways. Don't allow it to win. It as in the depression, the anxiety, the stress, the sadness. Don't allow it to win. Don't allow your mind to control you. Don't allow it to happen. And I want to tell you that there's times that I allowed my mind to run rampant of what could have been or what should have been, or questioning who I was. The devil wants you to hate your life. The devil wants you to question your identity, because the moment you question who you are, you will begin to question God, question why he made you, question why your life is important. You may start contemplating, is it even worth living? And when the devil gets in your head about your identity, then everything comes crashing down. I will tell you that from experience. When I allowed the devil to get into my head that I don't even know who I am anymore, when I allowed that to happen, everything began to spiral. Like physically, my heart was racing. I felt physically ill. I didn't feel good. I didn't want to do anything mentally, physically. I was out of whack because I was allowing my identity crisis to control my life. And I want to tell you, don't allow your identity crisis to control your life. Don't allow what you've lost or what you thought you should have been, or like, don't allow that to control you. I want you to know your identity in Christ, because there's a season to everything and everything changes. But that doesn't mean what happened wasn't good, and that doesn't mean what is to come isn't good. But that means while you're in the waiting, you have to learn to trust God with everything. Literally everything. No one prepares you. I will tell you this. No one prepares you for the time when you become an adult, when you graduate high school, until you go off to college. It is the hardest, it has been the hardest months, will be the hardest 3 months of my life probably. And right now it literally feels like pulling teeth out. Like it's awful because I'm not a kid anymore, and I'm not an adult. I don't have new things. I'm just living in this. I'm waking up, going to work, coming home, working. Like I'm literally waking up, working out, going to work, coming home. I haven't been hanging out with a ton of people. I haven't been doing all the fun things that I used to do. I haven't been playing sports and doing all the stuff that my normal summer happens. My life looks different. And learning to change with your seasons is hard. We are creatures of habit and we don't like change. And I will tell you that, like, I am a creature of habit and I don't like change. And this has been so hard for me. What are you struggling with that you are struggling to allow the change to come? What are you struggling with that you are trying to control it all? I want to tell you, I've tried to control these past few weeks and I have failed miserably because it's not up to me. I am not in control. But you know what I do? When I'm going through an identity crisis, my first step I want to tell you is get out of bed. Quit laying in bed, quit sulking around. Get up and move your body. I am waking up at 4:30 every morning and going to work out with my family. And do I want to? No. Am I sore? Yes. Is it terrible? Yes. It is hard. But I know that if I don't do it, I am going to become someone I do not want to become. And so while I'm not still playing sports, I'm able to replace that with something new. And my identity isn't built in this. My identity isn't built in this. Second, spend time with people. It may not be the same people from your previous season, but there are people who love you. There are people at your church. There you have family. There are people who love you. Spend time with them. Don't go through hard things alone. Don't go through this identity crisis alone. Because when it's just you and the devil gets a hold of you, you are going to struggle. God puts people in your life for a reason. Spend time with people. Get out of the house. Get out of bed. Go do. If it means picking up an extra shift, go do it. Don't stay alone. Third, get in the Word. Get in this right here. I have not been in it enough. I have not been in it enough. And I will tell you that. When I am going through an identity crisis, this is where my identity is found. The Bible is where my identity is found. Go find who the Lord says you are. Never once does the Lord say, you are what you do. You are who you surround yourself with. You are what you have accomplished. No, you are who you are because of Jesus Christ. That you are loved, you are chosen, you are set apart. You are his great workmanship. You are chosen generation. When you're struggling to know who you are, get to know who your creator is. He created you. Get to know him and get to know why he created you, because you have a purpose. And then fourth, remind yourself who you are. Again, from the word, remind yourself who you are. Because you are important. You have a huge purpose on this earth. And even though your seasons may be shifting and the way you work out your calling may be shifting, but your calling is the same, to go and make disciples of all nations. And while that may be shifting and changing, while what you do to do that, while the physical may be changing, your spiritual calling is the same. Don't lose that. And don't allow the devil to convince you that you are not good enough anymore because you have had a change in your life, or that God can't use you anymore because you've had a change in your life. That is not true. God uses seasons. And then finally, find something to fill the space of what you've lost. For me, I had to work out. I had to run. I had to find things to fill that space. And I'm not filling it with bad things. And I'm not filling it with things that would pull me away from God. While running and workout in itself is not Christian, I can do everything I do for the glory of God. And so I can work out listening to Christian music, and I can run clearing my head and spending time in God's creation. I can work, and I work on a farm and sing everything beautiful God has created. Like, I'm replacing those things that I've lost with other things the Lord has blessed me with. I'm not just sitting at home. What did I want to do this summer? I was doing sports and everything. I wanted to sit at home, and I wanted to sulk, and I wanted to throw a pity party. But my mom encouraged me, give yourself a little bit of a pep talk. Give yourself a little bit of being stern. You have to move on. At some point, I am going to have to realize that I am no longer an athlete, and I am going to have to move on. And the sooner I can figure that out, the better. And part of this podcast is doing that, is like realizing that my identity isn't found in the things that I did. And while I'm going to miss them and I love them and I'm grateful for them, that's not who I am anymore. It's never who I was. It's what I do. So my question is, are you putting too much emphasis, giving too much power to what you do to influence who you are? Are you giving too much power to what you do to influence who you are? Find your identity in Christ. It's important to recognize how you feel. Allow yourself to feel that you are sad, that you're upset, that you're sort of disappointed, that you're discouraged. Allow yourself to feel that. Ask for help and don't quit. Keep going. When I wake up, is it easy? No. Are there some days I wake up and I'm like, dang, I wish I had a basketball in my hand? Yeah. Are there days I just wake up and don't even think about sports? Yeah. And one day, I'm telling you, I'm going to wake up and the idea that I'm no longer an athlete is not even going to be in my mind. And it takes time. I'm going to tell you that things don't happen all at once. Just like change in your seasons, it takes time to adapt. Don't just grow angry and don't be disappointed in yourself. Allow your season to change and allow yourself to take the time to change with it. And I just want to read you a little bit from Ecclesiastes. I found this verse as I was preparing for this podcast, and it's a little bit to read, so just bear with me. But it's so beautiful. And most of you guys know it, but I just want you to listen to it. For everything, there's a season and a time for everything under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What gain has this worker from his toil? I have seen the business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity into a man's heart, yet so that he cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. I perceive that there is nothing better for them to be joyful and to do good as long as they live. Also, that everyone should eat and drink and take pleasure in all his toil. This is God's gift to man. I perceive that whatever God does endures forever. Nothing can be added to it, nor anything taken away. God has done it so that people fear before him. That which is already has been, that which was is to be. Already has been, and God seeks what has been driven away. I want to go back. So that was Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 15, excuse me. And these verses, the part at the beginning, a time to be born, to die, to plant, to pluck, to kill, to heal, to break down, to build up. These are opposites of each other. There's a time to be an athlete. There's time to not. There's a time for you to honor God in your singleness, and then there's a time for you to honor God in a relationship. There's a time for you to be a mom, and there's a time for you to wait. There is a time for everything. And while it may not be what you want right away, there is good. Some of this doesn't feel good. A time to die doesn't feel good. But there's a time for everything, and everything is good in its time. Whatever's good in one season can be different in another season. And that doesn't mean your new season is bad, it just means it's different. When you're going through an identity crisis, don't allow what is different. Don't allow yourself to perceive it as bad, because it's not bad. It is not bad. Change is not bad. It's what the season is, and God will bless you. He will bless you in your new season. And I think the hardest place to be right now is in the middle of what I can see as two seasons. That who I was and who I'm gonna be in August right now is hard. And I feel a lot of us has found this place that right now is hard in the middle of what God has promised, of what you've seen, what is to happen, and while you are waiting for it. It's called faith, and it's hard. But I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to grow weary in the middle. Don't go weary when it's hard. Keep going. There's a song by Benjamin William Hastings and Aiden King that just came out, and it's called Saturday. And it's talking about that today could be Saturday. Today could be the day before your breakthrough. Today could be the day before big things happen, but you never know. They didn't know that Saturday was Saturday until hindsight, that Saturday was the day before the big thing coming. Saturday was silent, but God rose on Sunday. You are waiting for your breakthrough. I am waiting for my breakthrough. But while I'm waiting for Saturday to come, I'm not going to grow silent on Saturday. I'm not going to grow weary on Saturday. I am going to worship God. I am going to honor God in the season I am in. While it may be short or it may be long, I don't know the length of my season, but I know that I'm going to honor God in it. And I'm going to try my darndest to do it. And there are days that I'm going to wake up and I am going to struggle to remember who I am. And when I feel alone right now, there's a time to be alone and there's a time to be with people. And I know the Lord right now is teaching me how to be alone, how to spend time alone, how to only rely on Him. And this season is preparing me for the next season. And so I want to encourage you that your season now is preparing you for your future self. Don't sell your future self short. Don't give up on the season because it's hard, because you will look back and thank yourself. Your life is so beautiful. Your season is so beautiful. You, my friend, are so beautiful. Do the mundane things well. Do it with a good attitude and a smile. God is working through every moment. I want to tell you that He sees you. He's there for you. He's excited for your future. He's asking you to trust Him in the moment. To not give your best at all times is to sacrifice the gift that God has blessed you with. Do your best every day. That doesn't mean that we're not going to fall short. That doesn't mean that there are times that the best that I can give is very small. But I'm going to give the best I can. The Lord is patient with you. His grace and mercy is sufficient for your life. When you are going through an identity crisis, when you're going through hard things, trust God. If all you can do is sit at the altar and kneel at the altar and weep tears to God, that is enough. He is asking you just to acknowledge Him, to say that, God, I am struggling going through this and I need you. If you can do that, He is going to show up. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open. He will answer you when you are going through an identity crisis, when you're going through a hard change, a hard season. Press into God. He will draw near to you. He will not leave you. He will not abandon you. Galatians 6 says, "And let us not go weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." In due season, we will reap. There is a good thing coming. Don't give up. Don't sell yourself short. Keep pushing. Keep fighting for who you are and who Christ says you are. Sowing is hard. I don't know if you've ever worked on a farm. Sowing is hard. Planting is hard. Taking care of what you have sown is hard. But you will reap blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Sow into your identity now. It's hard. It downright sucks, but sow now. Get in the Word, get in the worship music. Tell a trusted person how you feel and let them help you. Replace those worldly things that have become who you are with things that honor and glorify God. Don't allow yourself to sell yourself short and put your identity in fickle things that will fade. Put your identity in the Lord. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to struggle. There's going to be days when you wake up that you're going to struggle to find who you are. But when you go through those moments, please remind yourself, I am a child of God, and that is enough. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I just hope that my story just helps you a little bit. And I say this all, like I said, to be transparent with you, to show that in the middle of me fighting for my identity, fighting for this new season that I don't understand yet, that I am trusting God. And while there are days that I struggle more than others, I have found good community. I have found people, and I have given myself grace, and I have lived in the mercy of God. And I encourage you to do the same. Live in the mercy of God. Find who you are in Christ and let that be enough. If you guys haven't yet, I encourage you to go check out my previous video where I talk about all things graduation and all good and exciting things. And so I encourage you to go check that out. Check out our whole entire season 1 playlist. So many good guests that we had. God is moving. God is speaking. It's so amazing. And just a reminder again, we have a new episode every other Wednesday. And so please like and subscribe. Turn on those notifications, and just I pray that this podcast is blessing you, is speaking to you, because I don't do this to honor myself. I do it to honor God. And so I just pray that you got something out of this podcast, that you realize that who you are, only the Lord determines that, and you are His. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, guys.